Not really. Right now I'm just looking at it, game by game. Right now I'm getting ready for, our first game in this regional, and then just taking it step by step.
How hard is it to do that, though?
Oh, incredibly hard. It's playing ball. Professional as a professional is something I've looked forward to since I was 5 years old. So it's extremely hard, but I need to stay focused, and I need to be there for my teammates and stuff, and get as prepared and ready for tomorrow, the next day, and leading up to the regional as much as I can.
So there's no sense of, okay, this might be my last NCAA tournament. Let me hit it harder than usual.
There's like always those thoughts in the back of the head, but I'm trying my best to just keep it the same way every day, like I had the past couple of years, is just going out there and just having fun and playing to the best of my abilities.
Seth Beer said that this team is the most motivated you guys have been in the last 2 years. Do you think that that's true and why?
100%. I think through and through. I think our younger guys have matured over the course of the season. We've had some big obstacles we've had to overcome throughout the year, and I think they've learned a lot. And I think the maturity on this team is just incredible.
What are your thoughts on having Vanderbilt and St. John's back in the regional?
It was kind of funny. I felt like I was actually, when I was sitting in the chair watching, I felt like it was last year. I was like, wow, same teams and stuff, same setup. But we have to look at it. For the returners, we have to look at it as a totally different experience. Last year was kind of a rough year. Vandy, they had some great pitching, some great hitters, and they, at the end of the day, they went out and won the ball game. So for us, I think we can't try to get too excited, too tense when it comes to we have to get revenge on them. We have to take it to them. I think we got to play them like any other team.
Did you see Tanner's response to that when he was asked about those two teams returning here?
When I was watching it, I really honestly was kind of just thinking about what we needed to do to prepare for it. So I really honestly wasn't really listening after that when we.
He said it was an oversight that they didn't realize that they did that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I can't do anything to change that. My teammates can't do anything to change that. What we can do, though, is we can prepare every day leading up to the regional and just go out there and play the best of our abilities.
About Morehead State, what do you know about them so far?
I heard they got some pop throughout the lineup. They're a scrappy team. They're a team that competes, not afraid to play a bigger team, a bigger school that it doesn't matter to them. They're going to go out there and they're going to compete, and that's what we have to do.
You saw how the last weekend, how when you, Chris, and Logan are all on, you guys are almost untouchable. Do you think you guys are maybe, if you're really going, that you probably can play with anybody, or maybe the best big three in the country?
I think when we're all going good and we're all not going good, I really believe that we can compete with anybody in the country. And obviously in this sport, it's really hard to get everything going at once and everything going your way. So you have to look at it that way. But at the end of the day, the only thing we can control is the confidence level going into the game. So for us, I think 1 through 9, I have full confidence and full trust in every single one of those guys in our lineup. And I know that even the guys on the bench, they're itching to get in. We're going to do anything we can to help our team win.
How fun was that to watch, though, from your standpoint, when Logan and Chris were doing their thing and you were up there doing your thing?
Oh, it was really cool. Talk about being part of a game and an inning like that. It's kind of crazy. It was just something you don't even think about at college level, let alone like little league. So for us, I think the coolest thing about the whole experience was technically it was a game that had no meaning, and to see the guys, every single guy, no matter what their stats were throughout the game, or how many at bats they had in that inning, they were giving it everything they had that bat.
When you look at your own personal season, what are you the most proud of?
That's a pretty good question. For me, my goals were this year to honestly to get to 20 bombs. That was something I didn't voice really much to anybody. Just kind of in the back of my head. So when I hit that 20th one, it was pretty cool, and that was something I look forward to. But I think for me, it's just going out there and just trying to stay composed and stay confident and not try to do too much. That's kind of what I look to going into this year that I had to learn from my sophomore year.
When you saw Logan like 6 weeks ago, he said he changed his approach a little bit and kind of got out of his way. What did you notice about him these last few weeks and how he's kind of improved?
I think he went back to who he was, and at the end of the day, that's what you got to do. I think anybody in the game of baseball, whether it's a pitcher, infielder, outfielder, no matter what, you face those obstacles when you have to go out there and you're trying to be somebody you're not, and then you got to find your way back to who you are and what you do and what makes you so great. And I think, when guys finally figure that out and they get comfortable with who they are and what they did and why they're here, why they were recruited here, I think that's when it's something special.
Did he talk to you about any of that? Because you obviously went through it last year a little bit.
I think with us, he's an extremely good hitter and stuff, and for the most part, unless someone asks me something, I'm going to stay out of their way, because I know what that feels like. But for me, he just looked like he was having fun. He started to look like he was having fun, and that's when it all started to click for him. And that's when I knew something was going to happen. I actually remember that BP before that game when he really started taking off, at Virginia. He just looked like he was enjoying himself and he was having fun. And I remember that same feeling. All of a sudden, stuff started clicking, and I was enjoying being out there. I was enjoying being out there with a bunch of great group of guys, and that's when stuff started clicking for me.
What has Coach Lee's message been to the team in terms of just preparing for this regional?
I think yesterday, we met after the selection show, and he just talked. He goes, hey, we have to treat this like any other game, and we can't, point fingers. This is, the not fair. We should have been here. We should have been. We can't do that, because at the end of the day, we can't change anything. No matter what we do or what we say, we can't do anything about it. But what we can do is we can prepare to the best of our abilities. We're in here doing bunt defenses, working on the little things, because at the end of the day, the farther you go, the closer the games get. So, it's that little stuff, like bunt defenses, first and thirds, that kind of stuff that can dictate a game, with two really competitive teams.
Clemson hasn't made it to a super regional since 2010. Is that in the back of your minds at all this week?
It's one of those things. I've actually, I've heard that, for the past 3 years, we hadn't gone to a super. So since 2010, I heard that my freshman year, my sophomore year. So going into my, junior year and going into this, it's kind of just like, okay, well, we're going to play the best of our abilities, and if we get to a super, then I guess we could change that.
I guess, knowing how difficult that atmosphere is over there, and you guys have a home field, but it's been since 2009 since you've won a home regional. Mm-hmm. Is that surprising in that sense?
I just think, sometimes you just get faced with adversity, and you play a team that's just hot. That's kind of how it happens. Oklahoma State, when we played in my freshman year, that their catcher, wasn't batting as well as I'm sure he wanted to, but all of a sudden he showed. And that's the beautiful thing about playoff baseball. Things happen. Sometimes miracles happen. Teams that aren't seeded to move on, and that's the love and hate relationship when it comes to postseason baseball.
Did anything yesterday give you guys a chip on your shoulder? Any of that?
I think it's one of those things. Obviously, we want to go out there and compete and show people, how good we are and stuff. But the thing with that is you can't put too much pressure on yourself. So for us, it's like just keeping your head down and just going about our business and doing everything we can, to make them, understand, hey, we're a good squad too.
And look, y'all look from our perspective, y'all look like you were pissed off a little bit yesterday.
I think some of that has to do with, I think freshmen didn't know what to do. Guys are looking around like, I don't know what to do in this situation. Are we supposed to cheer, scream, what's going on? But the way I saw it was, this is the expectations of this program now. I remember my freshman year, we were excited, when we saw our name being called on TV. Everybody freaked out because, it hadn't happened in a while. Sophomore year was kind of like, oh yeah, wow, that's cool. We were kind of shocked in that situation. And then this year, it's like, this is the expectations. This is what we expect in this program. So I think it was just another thing like, okay, well, we've gotten here now, but now we got to move on.
So, did Monty recruit you to Clemson, or were you committed before he was hired?
I was committed before he was hired, but I actually remember getting a phone call, and I was in Florida, and I was uncommitted at the time, and I wanted to come halfway through the year. And so I made some calls to some teams and stuff, and some schools, and I was waiting on some calls back to see if I need to come up on a visit. And I'm sitting there, and my phone rings, and South Carolina number, and he goes, "Hey, this is Monty Lee, head baseball coach at Clemson." And I was like, "Oh wow!" And talked to him for a couple hours, and I was like, Coach, I don't want to play anywhere else. I said, I love this school, I love this program, and I want to play ball here at Clemson.
What was it? What did he say on the phone to you that really cemented your decision?
I think just talking when it came to how he wants his hitters to be. He goes, we want to be a team that has a lot of power, that hits the ball, not a small ball team, and in a lot of college programs, it's very successful, but sometimes it doesn't help other guys get to the next level, and that was something I was looking for, was a team. that I could go to, and he could help me further my strengths when it comes to baseball, and so hitting was a big part of it, and he loves talking hitting. So I talked to him for about 2 hours about all that kind of stuff, and I said, man, this is a guy I want to play for.
I mean, you said earlier that your goal was 20 home runs this year, so it seems like a perfect coach for you.
Yeah, yeah, you better believe it. Last round he's seeing how far we put him in the seats, so that's pretty cool. To have a coach like that.
He was telling us that over the course of the season, there's been so many nights where he's heard you in the cages after hours. If you had to guess how many times you've done that this season, ballpark, what would that number be?